For today's video, I have another rescue rabbit update, and the biggest news is we finally caught the male, the father of the baby rabbits. If you don't know what I'm talking about, 3.5 weeks ago, a neighbor called and said someone had dumped their pet rabbits in their yard, completely abandoned them, and they needed rescuing. So I went over and I saw 2 rabbits. One was a male and the other female. The female was huge, and when I picked her up, she was pretty tame. I brought her home and put her in a box, and within hours, she started having babies, a lot of babies. I was completely unprepared. I've never kept rabbits before. I didn't have the gear, but they needed to be rescued. And also there was a male I wasn't able to catch back then, so for the last 3.5 weeks, the neighbor has been seeing this rabbit run around in the yard. He's a gray male, smaller than the female, and he has 1 white paw. My daughter named him Socks. We couldn't catch him at all until we set up a live catch trap with carrots, and he finally went in. He's actually pretty tame when you hold him, but if you let him go, he will run away. Now the female, she's really been taking good care of the babies. They've been growing, and in my last video I had people naming them, and we've been going through the names. I'll show you all the babies. We haven't voted with my family quite yet on what to name them, but we're gonna name them from YouTube viewer suggestions. I got hundreds and hundreds of comments with suggestions on naming these rabbits. On a side note, this rabbit we rescued, it has fleas and they are crawling all over me. I'm even feeling them in my beard, so I'm gonna have to completely deflea myself, and we're gonna have to deflea this one. In the last video, we defleed it with diatomaceous earth, and he needs it. The train of thought, but man, I have fleas crawling in my beard, and that feels really weird. But anyway, I didn't know anything about rabbits, so I went to YouTube, and there was a few great channels that provided all the information I needed. I'll put the list right here, but these videos were really helpful, so check them out. The fleas. And you know what? My family has become completely attached to the baby rabbits. They grow so quickly, and I built the best house I could for the female and babies. It was based on some YouTube videos and some great suggestions. So let me show you the cage I built for the mother, and we'll put the babies in it for the first time. You can see just how much they've grown, just 3.5 weeks, and they are way bigger. Their eyes are open, they're hopping around. The kids are handling them every day. They're really tame, and they are so cute. So we're gonna put this guy in his own cage. I still have to build it, but let me show you the cage I built for the other rescued rabbits. So for starters, I built our rabbit hutch behind our sheep pen. This place is really nice and cool in the hot sun. It has plenty of shade. I built our hutch out of scrap wood. It has 3 sides and a roof, so the rabbits won't get rained on, but an open front, so it has plenty of ventilation. They can stay cool. This rabbit cage is actually pretty big for a rabbit cage. It'll provide plenty of space. It's 4 feet long and 2.5 feet wide, and I built the hutch to fit 2 of these. This I built out of 1 inch by 2 inch wire for the top and sides, and for the floor, it's 1 inch by 1/2 inch. I installed a J feeder here. That way we can lift up the top and add our rabbit pellets. On this side, we have an automatic water bottle, and I have to fill this pretty much every day with how much water the mom and babies are drinking. We have a door that opens, and this is just big enough to fit our hide box, and we have these clips here to secure them so they can't push it open. I have one on top and one on bottom. On this side, we have a wooden nest box with plenty of hay in there. At nighttime, the babies can go in there and huddle for warmth. We can also use it as a nest box if we breed the mother again to have more babies. I also included this plastic resting pad. That way their feet aren't always on the wire. This helps prevent sore hocks. And if you look at the back of the cage, there's a pipe sticking out of it. That leads to a tunnel where the rabbits can go to an underground burrow. Here's the back side of the hutch, and with that pipe, it goes down with this ramp. On the bottom, I put some grooves so they won't slide, and it's not a very steep angle, so they should be able to go up and down no problem. It's covered on top and protected with wire on the sides. And on the bottom of the ramp is another pipe leading into a half-buried tote. This will be much cooler in the hot weather than up in the cage. We'll take off the lid. Inside we have nesting material. The entrance is right here. I also drilled plenty of holes along both sides to make sure they have fresh air. When it's really hot outside, this half-buried tote should be about 15 degrees cooler and give them a real rest from the heat. We're gonna move the rabbits inside their new home. I'm gonna give them a salad of fresh greens, pea flowers, plantain, clover, and Timothy grass. So let's show them their new home. Baby number 1 is an all black bunny. These are 3.5 weeks old, and they are so cute. They're also very fast. Baby number 2 is a gray rabbit with white paws. The next one is a brown rabbit with white ears. Number 4 is an all brown bunny rabbit. Number 5 is also an all brown rabbit, and it's very large. Number 6 is another all brown bunny rabbit. And number 7 is so fluffy, it's a lighter brown with white ears. This is the biggest one in the litter. Now originally there was 8 babies in the litter. One of them was a tiny runt, it had gray fur, and my kids loved that rabbit. They tried so hard to take care of it, but it just wasn't growing. It got weaker and weaker. We even tried to feed it a bottle, and it really liked that. But sadly, it passed away. So we only have 7 of the 8. The runt did not survive, but the other 7 are doing really well. These baby rabbits seem to love their new home. They're instantly starting to chow down on all the greens. They really like clover and grass, and it's time to add the mother. Well, things are getting a little crazy with this rabbit rescue project. It wasn't expected, and it's turning into something more than I thought it would be. But my kids love having rabbits, and if we're gonna have them, I don't know what we're gonna do with all the babies, either give them away or I am interested. Mosquito here. The fleas and mosquitoes are really bad trying to suck my blood, but I am interested in maybe raising some for meat. I hear that's really efficient way of getting meat, even more efficient raising rabbits than raising a cow. On the same amount of acreage, you can get more meat with rabbits in 1 year than 1 cow, and they are so easy to take care of. They do eat the pellets, but they love the fresh greens. They're pretty cheap, and once you have the right cage, they're very easy to care for. So I guess my family is becoming rabbit farmers, and we might even breed the female. A friend of ours has a very nice buck, not this one. He's the father of a bunch of the babies. The small gray one, the runt, and some of the others look like him. So he's pretty much done. I might even not keep him. I might give him to a friend that is interested, but first we gotta deflea him. So leave comments down below, but what do you think of this rabbit rescue project? Usually I'm dealing with pests like mice and rats, but sometimes you have to deal with the unexpected, including rabbits that were completely dumped off. That's really horrible. Someone just completely didn't want them anymore and dumped them out in the country in someone's yard. And the craziest thing is, there has been a bobcat in the yard every morning trying to get this guy. So he's been a tame rabbit most his life, but he was able to survive 3.5 weeks from not getting eaten by the bobcat, the owls, hawks, or other predators. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you want more rabbit updates, leave comments down below. I really appreciate all the views. Thanks for watching.